Okay, so I am making a nighttime scary video. It's nighttime of how to change your ignition coil and your spark plugs. So let's get started. This is the engine, and that's a blue bag that'll have all your tools in it and stuff. So up here on the top of the intake manifold is your ignition coil, and they have the spark plug wires attached to it. So the first thing we're going to do is change your ignition coil. It's got the 4 plug wires and the connector. So there's 3 bolts, 3 10mm bolts, 1, 2, 3 that hold this on. First we're going to take the spark plug wires off, so it's really important to put them back on from where they came off. And usually you have a spark plug wire loom here, so this wire comes up and connects here, and this wire comes up and connects here. So just take this off, twist it to get it off. You have to break it loose, and then pull it off. Set that up there. Twist this one, pull it off, and set her down there. So now they're separated and you don't lose track of them. Then you'll take these off too. Then you loosen the 3 10mm bolts with the socket wrench and a 10mm socket that will be in the blue bag. Okay, then pull this wire connector off. You just push right there, and then pull at the same time, and as you can see, it comes right off like that. So it'd probably be easier to take this off before you loosen the bolts, because then you can pull and not have to hold the ignition coil at the same time. Then you get the new coil on, put the bolts in, plug in the connector, and you can hear it click there a little bit, and then you put the wires on at the same location. And you want to make sure they go on all the way, and I think yours is cracked right here. And on the coil it has marked the cylinder number 1, that follows spark plug number 1, number 3, that follows spark plug wire number 3, and number 2 and number 4 that go on the other side. But that doesn't help you if you don't know what cylinder it is, but you can write the numbers on here like with fingernail paint or something if you want. Then you'll just match it up with the number 1, 1, 3, 3, 4, 4, and 2, 2, whatever. But you can just remember where they go. Okay, so next we're going to do the right side first, spark plugs first, and they are down in there. That's the wires. And so we need to get room to do that, so we're going to take the snorkel off and the air box off, and then you'll have room to get in there to take the plugs out. So this comes off of here by going like that, and then This end will come off of here. You can probably just pull that off, but you might need to loosen this 10mm a little bit. I already had it loose. Then that comes out. Put that over there. Then this piece you'll need to get out so you can get that box out. And that's with a 10mm nut and this 12mm bolt down here. So I already had that loose. So I take that off, and then the 12mm socket on your two extensions, and you can loosen up the 12mm bolt down there. Oh, this piece just comes off, and then you can get the airbox off. Okay, so now we're down at the spark plugs, at the wires, and you can see there's plenty of room now to work. So we'll loosen them up by twisting them first to get them loose from the spark plug, and then twist and pull, and then they pop out. And again, you don't want to mix up the location for when you go back together. So put that one over there like that. Twist and pull. And it comes out. Put that over there. And now here's the spark plug holes. The spark plugs are down in there. And your spark plugs should be the same as these. This is a 5/8 socket, spark plug socket. They won't be on the socket rail. They'll be in the bag. There's 3 different sizes I have in the bag. This one is 5/8, and that should fit your spark plugs. So use the long extension and the short extension together. Put the spark plug socket on it, and then put it in there and twist it until it goes on the spark plug. Usually once you bust them loose, they'll turn out by hand, unless they were cross-threaded in. Okay, you loosen it till it's all the way loose. It won't come out with the socket, so you need to use a magnet that's in the bag. Put that in there and it'll pull the spark plug out. So now you're ready to put this new plug in. And the plugs come, they usually come pre-gapped from Subaru, so you don't need to worry about gapping them. They should be gapped. And thanks. When you get them out, just look at them. And this is a not too old spark plug, and you can see it's burning pretty clean. The electrode in there is fairly long, and there's the gap, and there's no carbon buildup on the post. but you're putting new plugs in, so then a little bit of oil in the threads, not a big deal. Probably when you pull your spark plug wire out of here, this is going to be all coated in oil. You're putting new wires in, so that's not too big of a deal, but what that means is the valve cover gasket seals are leaking and you're getting oil that's dripping down into the spark plug bore, which will need to be fixed, but that'll be a different video. So when you put your new spark plug in, use this rubber hose that's in the bag and push that onto this end of the spark plug like that, and you're going to put that down in the hole, and you want to turn the spark plug in, but you want to make sure it threads in correctly, so that's why you use the rubber hose. And it can be a little tricky when you don't really know how to feel it, but you don't want to cross thread these into the head because then you're in big trouble. Now, I did this on a previous video and it went right in, and now it's not, but you just have to keep feeling it and it'll finally start threading in. There it goes. So you just keep turning until you get it tight with the hose, then pull the hose out, and then tighten them with the socket wrench. Righty tighty. And you don't need to make these really tight. When the plug is new, it's going to have a squash washer on it, which so when you're screwing it down, it's going to feel spongy for a while, but this washer should be on there. And when you look at the washer when it's brand new, it'll be expanded a little bit. This is squashed, that's why it's called a squash washer, but that's what seals the plug against the cylinder head, and then it squashes down flat. So when you get it in there and you start tightening, it's going to feel spongy. So you want to get past that spongy feeling. And then tighten a little bit more. But you don't want to over tighten these and lock them in the cylinder or break the spark plug. So just tighten it and then give it a little leverage. You want it to be tight but not break it. And without a torque wrench, there's no other way to tell you how to do it. And then using a torque wrench would be another video. So anyway, now you've got the spark plugs in, and then you can put the wires on. So you're putting new wires on, so these are the spark plug wire looms, and they have a little catch to hold this one together. Just push on that, and then this top will come open like that. And you get that out of the way, and then you can take this out of the loom, and you want to go from the ignition coil side and just pull the old one out